Yeah.
And accountability, I think, is a huge thing for us to Christian growth.
Absolutely.
That we need somebody. We need to be accountable. We need to be able to go to someone when we screw up and say, you know what, I messed up.
Yeah.
We need to be accountable for our actions.
Yep.
And I used James 5:16, which says, "Therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." I love that. The prayer of a righteous. Now, righteous is right standing with God or having position with God. Those that are Christians, basically, that have received, as we talked about last week, receiving salvation.
Yeah.
The prayer of somebody that's received salvation, a person that has position with God, is powerful and effective.
Yep.
So, but how many times do we not pray when we could, or not go to somebody when we make a mistake? See, the devil, Satan, he wants to isolate us. He wants us to think that we're all alone, that we're the only one dealing with this particular sin or that particular sin.
Yep.
The last thing he wants us to do is have an accountability partner, have someone that we can go to and say, you know what, I messed up. Can you pray for me? Can you help me through this? Have you dealt with this? The devil wants you to think that you're alone, that he's trying to destroy you. He's trying to make you be ineffective. One of the strong Christians come, the Christians that are the strongest will be those that are not afraid to admit that they're wrong and will go to somebody and have accountability.
Yep.
If you're not accountable, then pride starts to creep in. And even when you sin, you just kind of brush it to the side. That's not healthy.
Right. Absolutely.
And this is not talking about physical healing either. It says, therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other that you may be healed. It's talking about healing, emotional healing.
Absolutely.
And spiritual healing.
Yep.
You need to be healed from the, thinking that, you're not good enough. The more that you sin and the more that you're isolated in your sin, the more that you're going to not feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
The more stress you're going to add to your life, the more you're not going to be effective in being there. So it doesn't matter who it is. Maybe you don't have, maybe you're listening to the show, you don't have somebody that you're accountable. Think of somebody. Yeah. Don't pick a non-Christian either. That's not healthy. They're going to tell you, go out drinking and feel better about it. No. No, you got to have somebody that knows the Bible, knows that maybe a little bit stronger in the faith or on the same level of faith as you.
Yep.
That you can. That it says in the word, iron sharpens iron. So one man blesses and sharpens another. So you got to be. You want to have somebody in your life that you can call up and say, you know what, I screwed up in this area. Can you pray? How you been doing in this area? Maybe you both struggle in some of the same areas, and you can be accountable to each other. Or the one person that's had victory in a certain sin will help you to lift up and to be good and to be strong in that area. So accountability is it's something that's not talked about. People aren't comfortable talking about it, but it's huge in our Christian growth.
Yep.
I feel like we're in an opposite. Anything?
We are.
You want to add anything to that, or what do you think when you think of accountability?
Well, I think at the same time, I think you really also need to be careful who you're accountable with.
Oh yeah,
you really want somebody that's not going to be judgmental. You want somebody that's looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's and I would encourage you, unless you just have someone that you've known for a very long time and you're perfectly comfortable with, but I would encourage you to actually test people in this. When I went to California, this was actually one of the trainings that we talked about this.
Oh yeah.
Because that was it was accountability, but it was also about just having somebody in the trenches with you in life, right? But they were really talking about how trust is really, really important. They actually gave us, I don't have my notes to go through right now, but they also gave us some ideas about some startup conversations to find out, hey, is this person actually going to be good for this part of my life? Because you don't want to get hooked up with somebody that isn't looking out for your best interest or who is judgmental, because that can really hurt and be hard. But we need it. It's very important. So awesome.
Yeah, so you can pray about who that person is, because like you said, you don't want a wrong person. But God always provides a way. Just like He provides a way in anything, He will show you who will be a person that you can be accountable. But He knows that you need it. Yep. It's part of our spiritual growth. So He will provide the person that is the right person, that's not going to gossip, that's not going to make things worse. A person that will hear you, won't judge you, and will love you where you're at.
Absolutely.
So that's important to be there.
Hear you, won't judge you, and love you where you're at. I like that.
Yeah.
You could turn that into a song. All right, well, we're going to get into some music.